Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going through how to be able to do a double brim. These are gorgeous for anything from necklines to hats, probably the most popular, and it creates this really cool double fabric with that rolled edge on the side. We're going to be working on another hat today, so let's get to it. Okay, so how is a double brim made? Essentially, it's by taking the cast on edge, we're going to fold it underneath, and we're going to create a double fabric, knitting essentially that first cast on stitch with our corresponding stitch. Now, one thing to know when you're doing a double brim is that you want to make sure that you are knitting the corresponding stitch that's on your needle with the one that is all the way down that you originally cast on. One tip that I also like to say is go ahead and give this edge a block. What can sometimes happen is that your edge can roll up, and that makes it even harder to be able to do. So I've already pre-steamed this one just to be able to make sure that this edge is lying flat. So I have come to the end of my round and I'm now ready to do a double brim. I'm going to take that next stitch and I'm going to follow and trace my finger all the way down to find that corresponding bind on, cast on stitch. And then I'm going to take a locking stitch marker and I'm going to lock it on the last stitch of the round. From there, I'm going to kind of hold my finger and I am going to flip it inside out, holding my finger at that stitch and bringing it together. Now I've still got that stitch on my like fingernail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially take that stitch, place it on, and we're going to knit the first two stitches together. This is going to lock in that first stitch. From there, I like to bring my piece in all the way around, because then it has a nice way to be able to like sit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on these bar stitches. Each of these bars is technically the next stitch. So I'm going to knit these two stitches together, these two stitches together, these two stitches together. And you want to always kind of think of those bumps in the first place. So on my next stitch, I'm going to insert that needle into that horizontal bump, and I'm going to knit both of those stitches together. I'm going to take that next bump, insert my needle into it, and I'm going to knit those together. So one tip as you're going along is you want to make sure that these stitches are lining up. So sometimes I will take my finger on the next one, I will take my finger, I will trace it up the back side, trace, 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 just making sure that I am picking up the right stitch. Because one thing that can happen with double brims is that if you're not paying attention, sometimes you can knit the stitch over, and then all of a sudden, instead of having your stitches lining up vertically, they're starting to slant because maybe you've taken this stitch but added to here, so on and so forth. So essentially you're going to work that all the way around, constantly picking up those horizontal bars, knitting both stitches as if they are one. Okay, as I'm coming closer to the end of my round, I want to double check that my stitches are lining up. So I've noticed that I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches that are live, and they need to correspond with 5 bar stitches, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am on track. One thing to know is that technically you could pick up both of these stitches. When you bring that roll over, you'll see those V's. If you want to, you can grab both. I personally just grabbed this one because you're never going to see the inside of it here. About to do the last stitch right here. We see that one little bar here. I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. Insert, knit both of them as if they are one. Come here, little guy. And straight through. So now you have essentially picked up, sorry, that's my end from the first original cast on. You have now knit all of them together. You have that beautiful double brim. Now all you need to do is to continue knitting just like normal, like you would for the rest of your piece. There is your double brim. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe in case you liked this video, and make sure that you're watching for more.